Hi, my name is Sanjay Brahmawar, and I am the Global Head of Sales and Managing Partner for IBM Watson Internet of Things. I will be delivering the super keynote address at IoT India Congress 2016 on 8th of September. I'm really excited about this event, and I look forward to seeing you all there. Now, IoT is having a massive impact on businesses, individuals, and our society as a whole. If you think about it, by 2020, we will have more than 30 billion connected devices, and more than 40% of all the data will be created through IoT. So IoT is really changing the way businesses deliver value and how customers or consumers will actually experience this value. So there are 5 key outcomes from IoT. You have operational performance, you have customer experience, industry transformation, environmental sustainability, and scaling up of institutional expertise. And as IBM, we believe that knowing the physical world and using that knowledge, anything is possible. And cognitive systems such as Watson, they are able to transform large amounts of data into valuable insight. And so therefore, we believe that Watson IoT is critical for digital disruption. I think IBM Watson IoT is both a game changer as well as a transformer. So industry disruption is only going to accelerate as these connected objects become more and more part of our economy. And I think as companies transform more into technology and services companies. Now, IoT is maturing, and as that matures, the strategy of how you can leverage and capitalize on IoT becomes more and more clear. And understanding the repeatable patterns is the way to accelerate this adoption. And what I want to do is give you a few examples of where we've done this with clients. So let's take the example of Whirlpool, consumer goods company. What Whirlpool is doing is they want to offer their customers a personalized consumer experience. So you do not buy a washing machine anymore, you buy a service. So you pay per wash and you're not so worried about the asset. Another example is Kone. They manufacture elevators and escalators. They want to step away from selling elevators to actually doing people flow management. Another example is ISS. It's a company that has 500,000 employees, and they do facilities management. So this company wants to move from just doing facilities management to cognitive facilities services, offering an employee experience to their customers. And then the final example is North Star BlueScope Steel, where they're leveraging Watson IoT along with wearable devices, and they're monitoring the health and safety of their employees in very extreme environments. So, there's a good range of examples around how you have both transformation as well as game changers. There are tons and tons of sensors out there, and not a big chunk of that data actually gets used. So I'll give you an example. If you think about an oil rig, there are on an average 30,000 sensors on an oil rig. Only 1% of the IoT data that is collected is analyzed. So it's quite important that all of this IoT data that is being collected, we're able to combine it with other sources of data, such as weather or social or enterprise data, to be able to derive valuable insights. The other thing that's quite important is that companies need to use non-traditional methods of analytics, such as cognition and also edge analytics, to be able to really take the value out of this IoT data. Now, you talked about truly minting this new resource. And if we want to really monetize the IoT data, then we think it's a 3-pronged approach. First of all, build. So This is where we help the software engineers, the developers, and the data scientists to be able to easily and securely connect their devices, to be able to build applications, and to be able to perform analytics. The second part is Solve, where we are working with line of business managers. These are people that are managing operations, and how do we help them improve their productivity, their utilization of their assets, for example, shop floor equipment. And then finally, it's Transform. So how do we work with the C-suite to be able to help them grow their business through new sources of revenue? These are new sources of revenue that come from the connected products. So those are the ways that we are working on truly monetizing the value of IoT. So IoT is a big ecosystem play. It is a huge, massive interoperability challenge, and it requires a broad range of partners and developers, all the way from chip designers to cloud to corporate business transformation, to help us help our clients. So we've been quite busy in establishing this ecosystem, and we have some strategic partnerships with chip designers such as ARM, board developers such as Arrow, and some distributors such as Avnet. We've also got very strong collaboration with the global systems integrators in India, such as Tech Mahindra, HCL, Infosys. We have a partnership with Siemens, where we are bringing IoT to life in a building environment. We're working with leaders such as Deloitte and KPMG on facilities and accounting. We are also, in the recent 3 months, we've done something like about 12 hackathons in India, working with universities across the country. And it's quite amazing, the thousands of students that we've touched. And we're working with these academies to be able to incorporate IoT into their curriculum. So, a lot of effort going into building and strengthening and growing this ecosystem to be able to deliver value to our clients. So I think cognitive and IoT were made for each other. Now, the traditional systems, they cannot deal with the size and the scale and the complexity of IoT. But if you have a system that learns over time, such as cognitive, it's critical for understanding and extracting value out of the IoT data. With cognitive system, it also changes the way consumers interact with IoT. And I'll give you an example. We recently launched with Local Motors the first self-driving cognitive vehicle called Ollie. And you sit in Ollie, and as a passenger, you can interact with Ollie. So you can ask questions to Ollie about about the journey. You can ask questions about the environment outside, and Ollie will respond and talk back to you. And it's that that's that interaction and engagement with the consumers that cognition helps change. So you talked about the black box and what black boxes will be open. Well, we think there are a few repeatable areas where consumers will actually get value out of IoT. So the first one is operational performance. And as an example, we have a customer, rail operator in North America, CSX, and they're saving about $2 million a year by using sensors to monitor 4,000 locomotives. So they're managing the assets. But it's not so much the cost savings, but it's the fact that the trains are more reliable and they're running on time. And that benefits all of us. The second one is client experience, and I just mentioned Ollie, which is a great example in which how consumers will experience IoT in a different way. And then the final one is about scaling of institutional expertise. So to give you an example, if you think about the shop floor and you think about an engineer who's been working on the shop floor for many years. Now this person develops, through their experience, a lot of intuition. So they could just walk past a machine and they would listen, and they would look at the machine and they could tell you that there's something wrong with that machine. Now that kind of intuition, Watson can emulate that. So in fact what we can do is we can augment the human experience, and we can provide tools to all of the employees so that they can do the job as best as they can. So in fact what we're trying to do here is raise the average level of expertise of an organization leveraging cognitive. So that's, those are examples of how we are unlocking the black boxes. We are working with a large number of companies in India, and we are collaborating with them to help them compete on the international stage. As an example, Watson IoT leverages IBM Cloud that is operational in 45+ locations globally. So what we do is we take care of resiliency, security, connectivity, and local laws and regulations for important things like data privacy or retention. And we bring together cognitive analytics, very strong industry domain knowledge, and of course the computing power, and bring that together to make IoT real for the companies anywhere in the world. So we're very excited about working with Indian companies to help them succeed both in the Indian market, but also as they broaden and expand and scale into other markets and other geographies. Watson IoT solutions are global, and they are customizable irrespective of the region. And what we do is we support standards. So if you think about our IoT Connect, then pretty much any device that uses the most acceptable protocols such as HTTP or MQTT, we can support those devices. We're also building some solutions that are specific for Indian market, like IoT for agriculture, where we can help the farmers create the best conditions to grow their crops. So this is about analyzing data and being able to decide how much water and how much fertilizers, where to use them in the field, so what is the right place. So we're also establishing some strategic partnerships with IoT startups in India and also some device manufacturers to make sure that our solutions are relevant in the Indian region. I think we can have a very big role in each of those programs. If you look at our involvement in the Smarter Villages initiatives, then we are combining IoT data with new sources of data such as weather or social or enterprise data. And that is quite an important aspect of the Digital India initiative. We're also involved in the NASSCOM 10,000 IoT startup initiatives. In fact, we're one of the founding members of the NASSCOM IoT Center of Excellence. And we are working with these startups across the entire country, in Bengaluru, in Delhi, Chennai, and quite a few other locations. So we're quite committed to building this developer community in India, because we think that is quite an important part of a vibrant digital culture or digital startup culture in India. And hence, I think we can play a significant role in all of those three initiatives. We are delighted to be part of this event. I think this is an integrated IoT conference. It brings all the relevant IoT stakeholders together. It's all the way from C-level to developers. You have government organizations, and you have small and large businesses. So I think the most exciting part is actually this one event could really propel the IoT movement in India. And we are very committed to IoT as IBM, and we're also very committed to India. And we look forward to bringing both together in Bengaluru in September. So I am really excited about this event.